Tikanetpedia, Theodoros Edo, Uncommon Sense. Today, to tell you how to get motivated, inspired, and build momentum when you have none of those things. But I'm in Greece now, so let's just take a few seconds to take it all in, because it's a very nice day. Orea mera, o Irios in Orea. Apparently they'd had 2 weeks of pretty crappy weather and almost no sun until the day I showed up, which makes complete sense to me, because I am the solar knight. Ime o ipoti to Iliako. So okay, to get motivated when you're not, you have to motivate yourself through action, dummy. It's like so many people treat and talk about motivation kind of like it's something that just happens randomly to them. It's completely out of their control. You know, oh, when I feel motivated, then I can go consistently to the gym and stick to a pretty strict diet, no problem. But then when I lose the motivation, I just lose all of that also. And if you're going to rely on motivation as something that's completely out of your control, you're going to find yourself in this loop that so many people do, feeling motivated, pushing forward, making some progress, losing some fat, building some muscle, or whatever your goal is, until you don't feel motivated anymore, and you just slowly revert back to your old habits, and you lose whatever progress you made, until, for whatever reason again, you feel motivated, start pushing forward, but you keep just moving within the same span, right? If you want to push beyond that, you got to take responsibility for your experience and make yourself motivated through action. Okay, first of all, I think what people really mean, that's why I say inspired and build momentum, I think that's what people really mean when they say feel motivated. When you just feel like things are going my way. Yes, I actually want to take on more, I actually want to push hard, I want to train hard, I want to work hard, I want to do whatever it is that takes effort in order to reach some kind of result, right? While motivated is really when you just see that there's really good reason to do something. Like if you're fat and get a heart attack, you might not feel very inspired and happy to go on a diet, but you can be motivated. You can see that, okay, I really should do this. I don't want to die, right? It's kind of like when I come out of that phase, facing these panic attacks, right? I'm so grateful that this thing that I felt like it's really impossible, it's actually finally over, but I'm not feeling all that great. I'm still quite burnt out, and man, I don't want that to happen again. So now I'm motivated to give a better diet and exercising regularly a go, but it's not like I felt good about doing it. You know, diet wasn't just to improve my diet wasn't the hardest thing for me. It just takes some conscious effort, but still I would be tempted by like alcohol, certain treats. I had a sugar craving sometimes, you know. But then the workouts even more so, that I don't feel like working out whatsoever. I feel bad at it, it hurts a lot in my muscles, I get really sore, even though for the first couple of weeks, 5 sets of negative pull-ups was all I did, right? And even between the sets, I find reasons to put off the next set until later, right? But the point is that when I started feeling what I would call more inspired, happy to go on, you know, that's when you pushed enough without feeling any of that until you see some kind of actual result, some kind of payoff from this, right? In my case, before I saw anything visual, I just felt it, right? Because I've been feeling so crappy for a long time, and I just feel like I definitely, from just eating better, going on a bit more walks and doing these very short strength workouts, I have better energy. It's undeniable. And also, because I didn't get the panic attacks, but I was still kind of burnt out, and like, you know, places with a lot of people could kind of make me feel anxious or something. I just feel like there's something here that's stopping it even sooner now, you know. And so now I feel more happy to keep going. And then give it another month or so, still singing in a choir at the time, and the guy standing behind me, he started like feeling my lats, and it would make sense, it was pull-ups I did, right? And he comments like, oh, have you started training or something? And then I'm like, man, I've just done this for like a little under 2 months, and it already shows. And you know, the reason why you now feel like, yes, I want to keep going, is specifically because you didn't feel that way but did things anyway. You see, that's why you get inspired, right? It's like, man, I'm awesome. I feel good about myself because I didn't feel like doing those things, but I did it anyway, and now I get to reap the rewards from that, you see? And so, well, I guess one thing, it's not really what I had in mind going into this video, but with a person that kind of, keeps losing and gaining the motivation, sometimes you also, I should make a separate video on it, but you have to keep the ball rolling. When you're not as, you know, not in a place to push forward as much, like just don't drop it, you know. It takes so much less to just keep the progress. Like the progress I have now, like I've trained for some time almost every day, right? But if I were to just want to hold on to this, I could cut it down to training 2 to 3 times per week, right? that's the thing. So that's a side note, really. But there's like, this with building momentum and getting inspired, it depends a little bit for you where you're at, what that means. Like one of these things is just this thing like, you know, let's talk about momentum first. What is it? You know, momentum is really a forward motion, but it's kind of an ongoing forward motion, meaning that when you have momentum, you already have speed. So it's easier to just keep going with the speed than building it up in the first place. And that's what that's what I had to do there after panic attacks, to build it up. You know, before you can go with the flow, you have to use some force, right? If I have a big rock, this is kind of how I think about building momentum. I have this big hill. Okay, I cannot go with the flow to get it up there. I'm gonna have to use some force, you know. But until I get to the top of the hill and I can just like push it over, now it starts rolling, right? I'm going to have to use some force there until the ball starts rolling. But there are other times when I feel, now the boulder analogy that doesn't hold up as much, but you kind of have to do something drastic. You have to just do something that's completely out of what you're doing right now, so that you come back and feel just like, man, I'm ready to go now. So one example of this, one client I'm working with, like think a guy like 5 years older than me, family, father, you know, consults me because he has a very stressful time in his life and he just feels like I need to get my shit together physically so that I can get my other shit together better, be a strong, good leader and father for my family, right? And so in a case like that, another side note that comes to mind, but he thought we were going to do fasting immediately, because some people, that's how they find me, that's something that I do. I just don't think it's the right time for everyone always. Like if you don't have any good habits at all and you're stressed and overwhelmed, and food is one of your problems, like maybe let's just build some good habits, build a bit of momentum with just eating a proper diet and going to the gym and hitting some good workouts, and then we can take on the fast, right? And so we did that and it was working well. But then, you know, life happens, a lot of stressful events for him, and he kind of starts losing the good habits we're building. And I can immediately see it on a call, because he's kind of a jolly, happy guy. I can immediately see that he's not feeling good about himself at all now. He's like ashamed in front of me, and it feels like he's just you know, cannot do anything, right? So first of all, in this case, I have to motivate the guy myself and remind him that, look man, you did well for quite some time, even that you've done this investment and that you're trying to do this, you know, explicitly saying that you're doing it for your family, it's like honorable, you know. I have to remind him of these things that he cannot see at the moment. But then I tell him, like, do you know what, this is actually, we're now going to do the complete opposite thing. Instead of taking it a bit slow before doing something bigger, we're actually going to do something big, just so you can see that you can do it, so you come back and it's going to be easier to do the other things. So now we're going to do a fast, you know, and I'm going to hold you accountable during it. And he nails that fast, and he feels, like I said, very good about himself, and now he can keep going. And then, you know, life is difficult. We had some back and forth with that, but we're up nailing a fast as we speak, actually. Again, like not me, him, but I say we. When I'm involved in the process, right? So let me tell you that I am actually here in Greece, in a sense, to build some momentum, okay? So I had to... like my channel blew up half a year ago, and then, you know, that's when you just feel great, like, oh, well, everything is just happening, you know. I have so much inspiration, all these ideas, all this energy to make videos, right? But a thing like that cannot last forever. I should say at the same time, because this is, you know, I've been bulking now for like 3 months or something, little less, and going well. You always have momentum quickly when you go into a bulk, you know, and you haven't been eating in that way. If you start eating more, you can kind of expect things to move forward faster. And it's not like I lost momentum or hit the wall, but with certain exercises, there are going to be plateaus. In my case, specifically pressing exercises, just been a bit stuck for a while. And so I just figure, because now the YouTube channel growth, all of that slows down. And I've not been feeling bad. I'm not at some kind of low point, and I'm just like, I want to be there again. When I just feel like things are moving forward, and I'm excited to get to do things more often. I want to feel that way. And so the way I see it then, just like a fast, in that it kind of takes you out of something. You have to do something more, something different, you know. You see that you could do it and you come back. In my case, well, the first part is actually like that. I did this fast, right? This modified fast, which is fun for me, because I've done many fasts, but never one like this. I usually don't eat at all, but I do this, and I pretty much just eat my protein needs with whatever fat has to come along with that. And then I do a bunch of extra cardio. And especially that part was new to me, to be in still what feels like a very deeply, I'm going to be deep into ketosis, right? And moving so much, doing so much cardio. But for this reason, I had a lot to do with work and things in the week too, but because I do that, I now feel very accomplished about myself. Like, yes, I did it, you know, like I've never done something like that before. Man, I'm in this fasted state now, thanks to myself that I put myself, I'm in this very grounded, present in the moment kind of state. I feel so grateful for this, you know, and then I follow up by going to Greece, which just kind of takes me out of my rut, you know, like my rut, I'm happy, I built a life that I like a lot, but sometimes I just think you have to get something new, just like the fast that just like shocks the system a bit. In another sense, I need some kind of new input to get inspiration, right? So I go to Greece, where I still be working a little bit, but resting from the training also. I've been losing some weight. From the fact I definitely lose more weight on vacation, because I always do, and then I come back and I'm gonna be inspired. I'm gonna have spent time with people I like here. I'm gonna have kind of literally charged up in the sun, you know, coming from Sweden, dark Sweden, in the winter, and I'm gonna come back with this like little weight loss and be like a little weaker in the gym, but not because I've lost any progress or muscle, just because I've lost some weight, right? And now I'm gonna have all these new impressions. I'm gonna feel inspired. I know that ideas are gonna start, and things I just want to do with work are gonna come to me. And I've also now created a new room. When I was very close to overtraining and plateauing on certain exercises, I just now created, by taking this small step back with the training, I've created all this room to keep moving forward again. So yeah, I guess I'll end this video here, guys. It's like momentum, like motivation, that it happens to you randomly at times. You're gonna see, if you really look at when you felt motivated, you're gonna see that it wasn't random. It was certain things that happened, just made you feel a certain way. And now if you can put two and two together, you can actually make yourself feel that way. And often it is by doing the exact things you think you need motivation for. Do them without the motivation first, then you motivate yourself, you inspire yourself. You know, if you get inspired by a video like this, it's only worth something if you immediately go and put it into something, right? You can inspire yourself, is the point. You can get external inspiration, but now go use it to go inspire yourself, go take action, okay? So please like and comment, always interested to hear what you have to say. It also helps support the channel, the algorithm helps more people find their way here, so very much appreciated. I do holistic bodybuilding coaching, getting jacked and stacked mentally, physically, spiritually, becoming that individual, just goes after it, that takes responsibility for everything in their life. It's an amazing physique to show for it, so if you are interested, send me a DM on Instagram or email me, it's in the description below. Pick up my training book, everything mindset, philosophy, and just fact related. You need, I don't know what word I want to use, but fact, you know, information you need to get, become a self-reliant, jacked and stacked individual. And please subscribe for more I'm stumbling on my words here. Subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. Motivation comes to you through you. Peace.